Welcome students who are in my A group to your first online lesson day for English 7. So it is Tuesday, September 29th, and I'll start out with these videos as we start to transition into the hybrid model, and then over time I'll only add videos if I really think that they're needed for explanations. Now today's learning target for you is going to be learning poetry definitions. Your upcoming due date is going to be connected to poetry packet number 1. By class time tomorrow, you need to have all of the definitions filled out in the packet. Just the definitions in the packet and nothing else. I'll explain that a little bit more later. Now, a new addition, because we've transitioned to the hybrid and we aren't doing Google Meets, you're going to be doing a required attendance form on Schoology. This is a form that now the administration can access as well as myself. You still have a very short daily bell ringer. Again, these are graded only on effort and completion. It's not about being accurate. It's about giving it a try. And you're going to be filling out your poetry packet number 1. So I'm going to bop over to our Schoology course. And you may notice the middle button looks a little different because now I have a group A and a group B. Now, we will probably not use the purple button unless we end up back on full-time distance learning. We will use the Friday button if you need to talk to me between 8:30 and 10:30 on Fridays. And then for you, you'll use the top blue button if you want to check my weekly checklist. So if you want to see the entire week laid out from yesterday all the way to Friday, you just click on the weekly checklist button. So I'm going to go over to materials now, and I know that I'm going to have a folder for today. So I'm going to find the week 3 folder, and I know it's the right one because it's going to have an A after it, and I'm in the A group. So when I click on it, here was yesterday's work, here's today. And on the online lessons, I will often put a little descriptor just in case we have to go back and find these lessons later. So there's only 3 things in today's lesson. The first is the required attendance form. Again, this is to notify that even to the admin that you participated. Just fill it out with your first and last name. Please make sure you pick today's date, September 29th, and make sure you are picking the correct class period. If you pick the wrong class period, you might get marked as absent because your form was incorrect. Then you just hit submit. The second item is the daily bell ringer. Again, we do need to complete them, but they're usually a very quick check-in where I ask you a couple of questions, or when we're in class, we fix sentences. And the final item is to fill out your poetry packet number 1. So I have attached a PowerPoint with all of the definitions in it. And then there are some optional videos to go with the PowerPoint if you prefer both verbal and visual. Now, the videos are optional. Watch them if they work for you. Ignore them if you don't think you need them. Please remember that these definitions need to be completed before class tomorrow. You are going to use them in tomorrow's lesson. Now here I have the Powerful Poetry packet pulled up. And like I said, the only part you have to do is the definitions today. So I won't fill out the whole thing. Basically, as I go through the PowerPoint, it's going to go through the definitions. So it's going to tell me what poetry is, and then it's going to start on the actual terms. And underneath each term in your packet, there's a spot for the definition. This is the only part I need to do. I can skip all the parts that come underneath it. So when I have the definition filled out, I'm going to go to the next page, to the next term, and I'm only going to fill out the definition. I don't have to worry about the rest of it because we're going to do this in class tomorrow. I'm going to say this one more time. All you're doing today is just the definition for each of these terms. Nothing else needs to be done at this point. If you have any questions during today's lesson, you are more than free to send me a Schoology message, and I should be able to respond by the end of the school day around 3 o'clock. Best of luck.